The 2025 Good News Course Festival began its nationwide tour, starting with a performance in Jeonju on February 14th, following the presentation of GNC's overseas volunteers who returned from a year of their service in various countries around the world. In Jeonju, the attention of family and friends who came to support the members, as well as citizens interested in volunteering abroad, was focused. Cultural performances from each country prepared by Good News Corps members were performed one after another, eliciting positive responses from the audience, and vivid stories of experiences were moving. Pastor Aksu Park also joined the group to encourage members and deliver a message to the audience. The 2025 Good News Corporation Festival will continue in 12 cities across Korea and Osaka, Japan till March 4th. On Tuesday 11th, a joint worship service with Pastor Aksu Park at Good News Daegu Church was held. Saints from Daegu and Gyeongbuk regions attended this joint worship service held last week to commemorate the missionary visit to Bolivia and Paraguay. There was a testimony by Pastor Young Jun Park, senior pastor of Good News Incheon Church, who accompanied the missionary visit. Pastor Aksu Park preached on this day about the value and importance of forgiveness of sins under the theme of John 11. The believers said by believing in God's help and preaching the gospel, they would lead people to salvation and receive great grace and blessings. The believers in the Daegu and Gyeongbuk regions expressed their feelings that they had gained strength to spread the gospel after listening to the sermon that day. The Paraguay branch completed the 2025 IYF World Camp and held an English camp and a follow-up meeting for the World Camp. The English camp hosted by Good News New York Church in America was popular with students because it allowed them to experience American culture through various classes and academy activities, and preach the gospel through mind lectures. In the evening, a World Camp follow-up meeting was held where World Camp volunteers once again shared the afterglow of the event by performing and sharing precious words. On the last day, certificates of completion were awarded to volunteer representatives from each department. Myanmar Good News Yangon Church held a one-day workshop on February 12th to commemorate Myanmar Federation Day. About 1,000 people, including church members and CLF pastors from all over Myanmar, participated, and about 400 of them were new attendees. Following the morning service, recreation and group meetings for young people were held in the afternoon. At the evening service, missionary Kim Jong-ho, senior pastor of Yangon Church, preached about the free forgiveness of sins. Participants expressed their impressions that it was a happy workshop where they were able to hear the gospel and have faith. Good News Taiwan Church in Taipei held the 2025 Winter Believer Workshop. At this workshop, believers learned about the religious views of saved Christians and gained hope for 100 church members. Next, at a children's Bible camp held with the Taiwan Christian Wilderness Association, the gospel was preached to about 30 children, and the children who were confident of salvation continued to share their salvation testimonies. In addition, the pastors and teachers of the Wilderness Church who participated in the camp expressed their hope to spread the gospel in various ways with the Good News mission in the future. The 15th Southern Taiwan Winter Camp was held from February 7th to 9th. The camp was hosted by Taiwan's Good News and conducted by Taiwan Christian Wilderness Association, Southern Area Church, and Springwater Grace Church, and most of the attendees were invited by educational evangelists from Good News Theological Seminary in New York. In the afternoon, there was a religious textbook using reading discussions, and in the evening, there were testimonies from Good News Seminary students. During the evening sermon, we heard about faith that lives with the heart of Jesus after salvation. They said that many people accepted the gospel at this camp and that they are hopeful that they will spread the gospel together in the future. On 10th, the Christian Leaders Association (CLF) was held at Good News Gangnam Church. It was a gathering for pastors of established churches who had maintained a relationship with Gangnam Church. Pastor Aksu Park, head of Gangnam Church, gave a sermon. Pastor Park focused on Hebrews 10:10 and emphasized that we can escape from sin when we become one with Jesus in our hearts. After the sermon, a question and answer session followed, and the pastors who attended had a meaningful time having in-depth conversations about faith and the gospel. On February 8th, IYF Uganda branch held its Season 4 Weekend Academy orientation. IYF's Weekend Academy is a program that provides free education and faith to economically disadvantaged youth, and about 400 people attended the orientation that day. There was cultural performance, graduate testimony, teacher introduction, and group textbook, and Pastor Kim Hyang-jin's speech. Among them, the graduates' testimony conveyed IYF's gratitude in hopes that students would be able to learn about God's love through the academy. They look forward to seeing Ugandan youth gain hope and happiness through the weekend. Academy. From 12th to 14th, Good News Townsville Church in Australia hosted a Bible seminar with Pastor Yang Hong-ki from Subuk Church in Fiji. It was held under the theme of the heart of encountering God and conveyed the gospel work that occurred at Fiji Church and a gospel lecture by missionary Anki Yang. They also preached the gospel in various places, such as Christian leaders' meetings, CLF, and believers' bridal rooms. Townsville Church expressed their impressions that through this Bible seminar, they were able to spread the gospel to many people and teach the joy of sharing the gospel to believers. Good News Ancient Church held an Old Testament Bible seminar on the 14th. About 70 people attended the small Bible seminar jointly held by Districts 1 to 8 under the theme of the Happiness Sharing Lecture, and there was also a special performance by the Grouches Choir. Elder Byung Ho Yu gave his testimony, and Incheon Church Pastor Yong Seok Choi delivered the love of Jesus through a happiness sharing lecture. The Incheon Church continued to announce that regional joint Bible seminars will be held. Good News Namdaejeon Church held a mind lecture briefing session to strengthen mind instructor capabilities ahead of the opening of Silver University on the evening of February 9th. At this briefing session, we conducted a program to write lectures tailored to the level of seniors and draw up plans for each lecture, focusing on the textbook to be used in the new semester. Who are you to lead me? Namdaejeon Church said it will strive to provide quality lectures to seniors attending Silver University to learn about the world of the heart.